Diskin. I've been an alcoholic for the... Oh, I mean, sorry, wrong group. My bad. Hi, I'm Ben. I was Venom on Spectacular Spider-Man. I was number 1 and number 2 on Codename Kids Next Door. Eugene from Arnold. Bond from Seven Deadly Sins. Sai from Naruto. Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
He didn't say the whole resume!
My name is Josh Keaton. I'm the voice of Spectacular Spider-Man, Shiro from Voltron, Anduin from World of Warcraft, Iron Man from Marvel Rivals, Green Lantern, Young Hercules, a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, it's nice to be here in Tulsa with all of you wonderful people.
Marty Grabstein, the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. But I don't really belong on this stage with such esteemed, really experienced voice actors. I'm a journeyman actor who's been on the stage, screen, independent film, or commercial, the whole thing. So right now, I'm doing Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm gonna approach anything else with my resume later on in the discussion with Bree. I'm exhausted already from this panel.
I'm glad I get to follow that up. Finn from Adventure Time, Lance from Voltron with this guy over here. Join the Phantoms and other things. You know, if you know him, you know him. If you don't, you don't. It's all good either way.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and ask a few questions myself, and then I'll hand it over to our wonderful audience so they can ask some questions. Is there one line or sound effect or anything like that you had to record that still haunts you to this day? I don't know if it, I know a lot of people come up to your tables and they're like, that's the line. Any of those?
Oh, I thought you just meant horrible experiences, because I do have one.
That's good.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so nobody's ever seen this movie. Nobody has. It's the remake of Total Recall. It was not popular, did not do well, but I was in the Loop group for it, and I had to do a British accent, and along with me was J.B. Blanc, who is, not only he is British, he also is a dialect coach, so he really knows what he's doing. And I was so nervous. I had one stupid line that I could not get my mouth around, and I don't even remember what it was. It was just something like, all passengers, please get on the train, something like that. And I kept screwing it up 20 times in a row because I was so nervous. And it haunts me to this day that that's what he probably remembers and reposts.
Yeah, that is tough, man. Let me see. So, that haunts me to this day.
You want to buy more time? I'm starting.
Yeah, you know what? You started. I'm gonna think of something.
I'm gonna buy some time for the growth.
It's the answer to this question that haunts me to this day.
All right. So for me, ironically, it was a line from Courage, and when I think about it, I want to scream, literally. So anyway, I had to, in the booth, the line was that this guy, Courage pops his head in its scary forest, in the dark forest. His head comes out of the ground, looking around, and he said, That's all. That was the line. It should have been a throwaway, right? So he said, you're scared. The director said, you're scared, and you also a sense of wonderment. Fearful and a sense of wonderment. So I said, And then, no, I'm getting the wonderment and not getting the fear. And I go, no, you lost the wonderment. Now, fear and wonderment. Now it's too high. You lost courage. You're losing courage and not getting courage. Now you sound like Marty. I did that for about over 20 takes. And at the end of it, I see these voices because they would push a button and they could hear them at sort of the booth. When they put, and we could talk to each other. When they take their finger under the button, I'm seeing, they're talking about it. See, we were acting, me and Josh. You like what we were doing? I'm buying him time and also engaging him in
Marty Grabstein, ladies and
conversation.
gentlemen.
At the punchline was finally they talking, and I said, you know, it's you got it. It's good. We can get it from the library anyway. So the library of sounds we already have from you. So all of that stuff was complete waste of time. Haunts me to this day, Bree.
All right, so I was in a game called Metal Gear Solid 3, and I played this character named Revolver Ocelot, who he's become kind of a meme. He was like this this Russian double agent, and he has this whole unit of characters that or this whole unit of military that he commands, and it's like the Ocelot unit. And the way he calls them is he meows. And when I first went in, when I was in the studio to record this character, they told me, they're like, okay, now we need you to meow. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, so you need to meow. And I'm thinking, okay, this character is, you know, he's got these revolvers, he's really cocky, he's kind of cool. I'm like, he meows? Like, do you mean like a meow or like a roar? Like, and they're like, no, like a meow. And I'm like, well, like what kind of a meow? Is it like a ferocious sounding meow? Is it like a house cat meow? And they're like a meow. And I was like, you're really giving me absolutely nothing to go on here. So I'm just, and it ended up just being, Rah! And then when you watch the way that this turned out, he goes and he calls his unit, he does this whole like hand thing and everything, and it's just meow with echo. But yeah, that was the weirdest thing I think I've ever done in the booth. I still think about it to this day, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have like something that, I mean, everything I did at Adventure Time haunts me to one way or another. It's just a ridiculous show, and half the time didn't know what was happening, but it was great, and it turned out awesome. So, you know, that works out sometimes. Sometimes you just trust the writing team and you hope that everything comes together and coalesces, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. The only like real horror story I think I've had like in recording something was for a video game. This is actually more recent. It's for Cookie Run, and I had done this like, you know, long record. It was the first time I recorded for it. I didn't even audition for the role. They basically just like offered it off of other things I'd done, and then I went in and I was like, hey, what do you think of the character? And they're like, you know, just something like heroic, adventurous, energetic. Say no more. I think I know what you're asking for without asking for it. And, you know, it's basically just like thin with like a little sweet gingerbread flair to it. But we did the whole session, and then at the end of the session, they have a marketing person come on, and this is all done remotely, so I'm not seeing anyone, I'm just hearing them all in my ear. And there's like a little promo they want to do, and I'm like, okay, cool. So we have the marketing person take over directing duties for the promo. And it's just the character running. There's not even any lines for it. And so they're like, okay, we just want him to be kind of like running along, kind of huffing and puffing. I'm like, great. So I just do cute little running. I do one take of it. It's kind of similar to what you were saying, actually. And then the marketing person goes, well, what if it's more happy running? He's happy to be running. I said, okay, I'll give you happy running. I get happier running. Well, he's a little too happy. You know, there's still some effort in the running. And I'm like, okay. And so I give, you know, slightly happy, but with effort running. And after about like 7 or 8 more descriptors of the type of running it needs to be from someone who's never directed anything in their life and is a marketing person, I don't think this is the only time I've ever done this in a session, because I'll do it as many times as you want to try and get whatever your vision is. But I finally went, he goes, yeah, okay, no, it's still just not quite there. It needs to be happy running, but there's effort, but not too much effort, and breath, and still a little bit of voice, but not too much voice. And I went, you know what, I'm gonna stop you right there. I have honestly no idea how to do what you're asking me to do right now. And finally the voice director, who's just been letting this go on for like 20 minutes, is like, yeah, no. I think we got the take. I think we got it. That's probably the only time I've basically just told someone I'm done doing whatever it is you're asking for. Because I'm so amenable that I always like want to get them what they want, but at some point, there's nothing you can do. It's just it.
Well, I love knowing what keeps y'all up at night. This is fantastic. Okay.
Do you wake up from your sleep running happily?
Running happily with little to no effort, but still enough effort. More voice, but not too much voice.
Okay, my next question is, if you had to build one of your top characters a survival kit, which character and what 3 objects would be inside? And it doesn't matter if they're like absolutely off the wall, just like what would y'all have in the survival kit?
Character, 3 items. That's it. Character and 3 items.
Y'all got it.
All right. I don't know.
I broke them, I'm sorry.
All right. Courage the Cowardly
Yeah, there you go.
Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog. A flashlight. And a pie. One of Muriel's pies. For the survivor kit. And a mask. So I can, if I have to, scare away scarier monsters. I can scare them off with the mask.
Love that.
Okay. Shada from Agrexco. I'm going to give him a briefcase with $1 million in it.
Tight.
A stapler, because you always need them, and a letter of resignation.
Got it. Woo!
I would choose, let's see, with Peter Parker, we would give him some sort of like a knife, because even though he's powerful and has spider powers, you know, maybe you need to sharpen something, you know, wouldn't really need web fluid extra, because he uses mechanical, and if you have enough of that, you can use that to lash anything together. And water purification straw, because, you know, he can't produce that, and you don't want to have diarrhea from drinking bad water. So yeah, knife, water purification straw, and extra web fluid.
Gotcha.
Finn, BMO, because technically BMO counts as an item, it's a robot. One of his many swords, let's just go with the demon blood sword in case it's a little bit of a mystical threat. And his backpack, which is filled with other items. So I'm kind of cheating there a little bit, but you know, it's got everything he needs.
Alrighty, well we've got some incredible guests up here, and I know the audience has a lot of questions, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to those if y'all want to start lining up. Hello again.
Hey, how you doing?
Would you like to introduce yourself and then ask your question?
Hey, how you doing? My name is Randy from the Voice of the Heroes podcast, and my question is, what is your biggest highlight moments in your careers?
I would say like one of my favorite moments would be, I was in a show, I did a guest spot on a show called Be Cool Scooby-Doo. And I played like this rocker guy named Bones Malone. And I'm also a singer, so it was like a real treat to actually be able to get to sing in this episode. I got to sing the Chase song, which has actually been kind of like a bucket list thing for me as a voiceover person. So I got to sing the Chase song, and I remember Frank Welker played Scooby and Fred in this show. And I had already been friends with Frank for a very long time. We worked on Transformers Prime, but he'd never heard me sing. So I remember I was in the booth, and I was like halfway through the first verse of the song, and he comes in early for his session, so I see him behind the glass come into the control room, and he's just standing there in the back of the control room. And I'm already like, you know, halfway through the first verse of this song, and all of a sudden I see Frank, and instantly, like, I'm trying not to let it affect me, but I'm instantly extremely nervous now, because this is like one of my voiceover heroes that's now gonna hear me sing. And so I'm like, I can't mess up. So I make it through the song. It was a good take, you know, I was happy with it. And I didn't even care what the director was gonna say. Like my eyes shot to Frank, And he's just standing there in the back, and he had his arms kind of folded, and he gives me the look. If you've seen Karate Kid, you are very familiar with the look that Mr. Miyagi gives Daniel-san when he's proud of him. And that's probably one of the best moments of my voiceover life, was getting the Mr. Miyagi from Frank Welker. That was awesome.
There's a lot of things. I think if you have a career long enough, you're always going to have like multiple moments that make it all worthwhile and make you just stoked to be doing what you're doing. But you know, I feel like one of my favorite things, it's kind of similar to what you said in some ways. There's a show called Julie and the Phantoms that I did on Netflix, and you don't always get to, I guess, combine all of the different things that you do, your talents and abilities, into the same project, but it was one that just came at a time when I, A, really needed a job, which is always great, but B, in terms of just, I got to act in it, but I also got to sing in the show, I got to play bass in the show, which, you know, I play bass in real life, and it's not usual that you'll get like an audition for a bass player. Usually it's, you know, the guitar player or the piano player, because it always has to be the singer-songwriter who's very moody and like, oh my gosh, my life is so hard, but I just write it in the lyrics, you know? So you don't usually get like the bass player type auditions. So it's like, wow, this is like perfect for me. And you know, sometimes you just have a role that just hits all the things that you can do. And then it just ended up being my favorite thing that I've ever shot. And I love that show and those people, and friends for life on it. And I got to work with, you know, Kenny Ortega himself, the man who lived the legends, and just getting to work with someone who's had such a long career working with the top of the top music artists, and getting to just ask him stories about all these insane people he's choreographed for, done music videos for, toured with. It's just really, really cool. And he's a special person. I love him. So yeah, I would say that's probably been like a definite highlight. On top of that, in the voiceover realm, walking into Adventure Time and getting to become a friend and a coworker with, you know, John DiMaggio, Tom Kenny, T. Bradley Baker, Hynden Walsh. I'm sure I'm forgetting plenty of other amazing ones that I grew up
When you
listening
got
to.
the Academy Award, you remember everybody's name.
Exactly. But yeah, definitely, that was one too. You know, you grow up listening to like people as a kid, and then you get to work alongside them and learn from them, is just pretty surreal. And you get like the best kind of on-site voice acting, teaching from working on the job, which is kind of the best way to do it. So I would say that too.
Ironically speaking, was a short moment. I have many as well, but a short moment that happened. I auditioned for The Sopranos, and I didn't get into it. I auditioned for a newspaper reporter who was going up to somebody and asking a question. I don't remember anything about the line or anything, but I remember I did that, right? And I got a call back. So when you got a call back in the old days, it meant something. You don't get too many callbacks these days because everything is done on tape. You don't hear from there, or you hear from them. I got a call, but I did it again. I didn't get it at all. I didn't get into that show ever, but I remember leaving the callback, and David Chase, the creator of The Sopranos, came up to me. He stopped me, actually. He said, you know, I just wanted to tell you, you know, you are a really dynamic actor, and I was very impressed with what you did there. And so, even though I never heard from him again, but even though I never got into it, the small part that I did, this small audition, the creator of the show came up to me and said that to me. That was a very powerful moment to me, and reassuring that I was doing the right thing.
Yeah, for me, it's similar to Jeremy. I've worked on Kids Next Door, and every single day they had some legend of the voiceover industry who I grew up with showing up and just playing all of the minor characters. So every single day it was like, oh wow, that's the guy who I like. He's from the Ninja Turtles that I watched as a kid. That's from Scooby-Doo, and they would all just be in the room joking the entire time, doing improv, and I'm just sitting there going like, oh my gosh, I'm not on anybody's level. I'm like, I'll never be as good as these guys, so I better enjoy this while I can and just getting to experience like all that. Because, you know, I mean, usually you'd have to pay for something like that to like be in like a classroom setting with anybody like that. And instead, you just get to sit there and watch as they do what they do effortlessly. And you go, wow, that's what it takes to actually be like a big deal in this industry. And it's just really cool to see people with like decades of experience just doing what they do so easily. It's really cool.